Welcome back, everyone. Today, we're diving deep into the high-stakes world of tech recruitment.
High stakes is right.
Picture this: a cutting-edge tech company right in the heart of London.
Okay.
They're on a mission to, totally revolutionize industries with all the latest tech.
AI, blockchain, AR, the whole 9 yards.
Exactly. But here's the catch. They desperately need a top sales pro. Someone who not only understands this complex tech, but can also, actually sell it.
Right. Someone who can bridge that gap between the tech world and the business world.
It's like searching for a needle in a haystack. A unicorn, almost.
A tech-savvy sales unicorn.
And that's where the sales experts come in.
Recruitment agency, right?
Yep. They claim they found this, perfect unicorn candidate in just 10 weeks.
10 weeks? That's fast.
I know, right? They put out this whole case study about it, bragging about their success.
Well, we're about to unpack that case study and see how they actually did it.
All right, let's break down the numbers first. The sales experts sifted through over 1,250 potential candidates. 1,250. Then they conducted 35 interviews and presented 30 candidates to the client, all in just 10 weeks.
That's a whirlwind recruitment process. Talk about pressure.
I know. It makes you wonder, did they really have enough time to properly vet each candidate?
Right. I mean, were those interviews even in-depth enough to get a real sense of each person?
Good point. And to make things even more interesting, the case study is super vague about the actual client. They just call them a pioneering tech innovation center based in London.
Which, let's be honest, could mean anything these days. London is like a breeding ground for tech startups and innovation hubs.
Exactly. It makes me wonder, are they working on something truly groundbreaking, or is it just clever marketing?
Yeah, are they actually pioneering anything or just using buzzwords?
Let's try to decode the clues they give about the ideal candidate. So, they needed someone with a deep understanding of, get this, rail infrastructure projects.
Rail infrastructure, that's interesting.
I know, right? And on top of that, they also needed this candidate to be an expert in cutting-edge technologies.
So we're talking AI, blockchain, maybe even things like IoT sensors for predictive maintenance.
Exactly, like the whole package.
Yeah.
Plus, this person had to be able to explain all this complex tech to people who, aren't tech experts.
They needed someone who could bridge that gap between the engineers and, say, the executives making the decisions.
Yeah, someone who could translate the tech jargon into, actual business value.
And don't forget, they also needed a strong network in the UK's digital and tech scene.
Oh, right. They wanted someone who's already connected who can open doors.
This is where that unicorn idea really comes into play. It's not just one skill set. It's like a fusion of multiple expertises.
It's almost like they were looking for a rare hybrid. Someone who can speak both tech and business fluently.
And probably someone who thrives in a fast-paced, constantly evolving environment.
So how did they find this unicorn? The case study mentions these targeted research and engagement strategies.
Right. But, what does that even mean?
I was wondering the same thing. It's got to be more than just scrolling through LinkedIn.
Oh, yeah, for sure. They probably used all sorts of advanced tools and tactics.
Like what? What are some of the things they might have done?
Well, they probably tapped into those specialized databases for rail industry professionals, the ones that aren't publicly available.
Oh, right, the kind of databases you need, special access to.
Exactly. And they might have even used AI tools to analyze online profiles, like finding those hidden gems who might be interested in this kind of role.
That's pretty smart. They could identify people who weren't actively looking for a new job, but might be open to the right opportunity.
Precisely. And they probably went beyond just tech conferences. I bet they were at all those industry events for rail infrastructure, too.
Yeah, makes sense. They needed to be where the potential candidates were, even if those candidates weren't specifically looking for tech roles.
Networking. It's all about making those connections.
They also mentioned these compatibility assessments in the case study. So it wasn't just about ticking off skills on a checklist.
Right. In a fast-paced, innovative environment, cultural fit is crucial.
They wanted someone who could not only do the job, but also thrive in the company's specific culture.
Exactly. They probably used personality tests, behavioral interviews, maybe even simulations.
Simulations, like role-playing exercises to see how candidates handle pressure.
Something like that. They needed to assess how someone would react in real-world situations.
That's pretty intense. But I guess it makes sense if they're looking for someone who can handle the heat.
It's all about finding the right fit, both in terms of skills and personality.
So in the end, they did find their unicorn. And the client is now supposedly better positioned to lead the digital transformation agenda in the UK.
Well, that's what they claim. Only time will tell if they actually achieve that.
True. But it does highlight the importance of having the right people in these key roles,
Absolutely. Someone with that unique blend of skills can really make a difference.
especially in a company that's trying to push the boundaries of innovation.
Right. They're relying on this new hire to help them achieve their ambitious goals.
Oh, and they mentioned a competitive remuneration package. No surprise there.
Top talent doesn't come cheap. These companies are willing to pay top dollar for the right people.
Especially in such a specialized field. The demand is high, the supply is low.
It's a candidate's market for sure, especially for those who can bridge the gap between tech and specific industries like, in this case, rail infrastructure.
So what's the big takeaway here? What can our listeners learn from this whole case study?
I think it highlights a larger trend. We're seeing this increasing demand for professionals who can connect tech and business.
It's not just about coding anymore. It's about understanding how technology can be applied to solve real-world problems.
And then being able to communicate those solutions to people who might not be tech savvy.
Right. So it's a challenge for both companies and individuals.
Absolutely. Companies need to figure out how to find these multi-talented individuals.
And individuals need to develop the skills that make them stand out in this evolving job market.
It's a two-way street. Both sides need to adapt to this new reality.
I think this case study really makes you think. If you're leading a team, where would you even start looking for someone with this unique combination of skills?
That's a great question. And it's something that every leader needs to be thinking about. The future of work is changing, and those who can adapt will thrive.
So listeners, what are your thoughts? Have you encountered this challenge in your own work? How are you preparing for the future of work? We'd love to hear your perspectives.
It's a conversation that's just beginning, and we need to keep exploring these ideas.
Thanks for joining us for another deep dive.
See you next time.
Bye, everyone.